Hello, everybody. Ella J here on behalf of WrestleZone, and today I'm joined by your Defy Women's Champion, Player One, VertVixen. How are you doing
Player
today?
one. I'm doing fantastic, actually. I am doing absolutely fantastic today. I'm about to hit the gym, so you know it's a good day.
It
Woohoo!
is. It's probably hotter for you than it is here, but for me, it's like scorching outside right now. It's about 85, which I'm not used to. It's probably hotter where you are in Texas.
I'm dead. 85 is not scorching. It's like 100 and
Oh,
what is it right
oh
now?
my
What
God.
is it at this moment? I think it's 102. Oh, no, 101. I was off by
Oh
a
my God.
degree.
See, for me, I'm from the Northeast. Anything above 80 to me is scorching.
I'm
I could
dead.
never. I would literally be dead if I was in 100-degree weather, but it is what it
Yeah.
is. First of all, I want to congratulate you on all the recent success you've had, especially over the last year. I feel like you've really put your foot on the gas and have just kind of gone up 5 levels, pun intended. Part of that
Uh,
elevation can definitely be attributed to your journey as Defy Women's Champion, which began last October. You became the
yes.
first ever Defy Women's Champion. And coincidentally, I believe this might have been also your first ever singles title, period.
Actually, technically, no. Technically,
Okay.
no. I mean, technically, my first ever was my school's, technically speaking. And then Elevate Pro before that, technically speaking, but Elevate's not really running right now. I haven't seen them run since I got the title. But like when it comes to like big championships, yes, it's my first singles.
Yeah, so can you kind of describe the moment and the emotions surrounding this kind of, I feel like the big milestone in your career and Defy history as well?
It really is. It was something that I definitely was not expecting to happen in the sense of I was in there with Liza Hall, who not only has more years of experience than I do, but was more well traveled at the time, is an exceptional wrestler, is very well technically trained. I was something that I just was not expecting or ready for or prepared for. And the fact that I had the honor to become Defy's inaugural women's champion, it meant the world to me, like the absolute world, that now I get to represent this incredible company that has done so many incredible things, that has really made their name, as an independent wrestling promotion here in the States and now outside of the States as well. So I'm just, man, grateful is the best word I can describe for it because it's like, it's one of those things where becoming the Defy Women's Champion really did change my career for the better, and it's something that, yeah, I will always be thankful for. Like no matter what, it's a moment in time that I will always remember.
Yeah, and you've carried that, you've successfully defended it a few times. And I know you traveled to Japan earlier this year, but I wanted to talk about your most recent trip where you successfully defended your Defy title against TJPW's Hikari Noah. I know that match
Yes.
and moment meant a lot to you personally and professionally. So can you kind of tell us about some of the main takeaways and the emotions that you felt during that experience?
Yeah, so Japan has always held a really special place in my heart. When I was a kid, my dad would go almost every
Yeah.
year. He worked for Toshiba at the time. I lost my dad in 2017 to cancer, sadly. But he would always he would always tell us like he wanted to take us over there. He wanted us to experience it. And then at the same time too, I had been training in Taekwondo and he wanted me to do freaking jujitsu like way back in the day. He wanted me to compete. So the fact that I not only got to go to Japan, I not only got to wrestle in Japan, but I got to defend my American title in Japan. It was in my brain, it was I kind of all in honor of my dad. And it meant the world to me that um, not only did TJPW believe in me enough to defend that title there, but Defy believed in me enough to take the title to Japan to defend it. So yeah, it's just like I don't know, it's a lot of emotion, a lot of like a moment in time that I will always hold dear to me because I gotta represent I gotta represent Texas. I gotta represent my dad. I gotta represent Defy, aka the Defiance in Seattle, and really start to make that title a world championship and not just a states championship. And that's like, I don't know. I'm making history, and I'm very honored to be the one to do it, and very grateful to be the one that, Defy believes in to do it.
Yeah, and like you said in your Instagram post, there was a lot of significance tied to your dad, but you'd also said it's become like a second home to you now as
Yes.
well, personally and professionally. So I think that that's really cool, and hopefully we get you back in Japan soon. I know you've spent a fair amount of time there so far. So what aspects outside of the wrestling scene really stood out to you in regards to the country of Japan?
Oh man, first of all, it's an absolutely beautiful country. Like it's absolutely beautiful. When I was out there the first time in April, we did a drive to Osaka. So like I got to actually see some of the outside of Tokyo, and it's so beautiful. The people there are so friendly. Everyone's so open and so welcoming. The food is delicious. I love that I can get a drink out of any freaking vending machine,
Yeah.
on the corner, or even food or whatever you want. It's there. Hot drinks, hot food, cold food. It's insane. The fact that the what's it called? All of the convenience stores are open of all hours of the day, and the food is just good enough that you can eat it whenever. Like I would literally wake up in the morning, go walk to the 7-Eleven down the street, and then sit outside in front of my hotel and just eat like delicious Japanese.
You were the second person to tell me because I was talking about this with Nightshade from the UK because she's been to Japan too. She was like, the
Hmm.
7-Elevens have like actual food in them. It's not like just a convenience store. And I'm like, America could never.
America, no, it's very different. Like
It
it's a
is.
very different there it's like the food quality there is just it's not processed. You know what I mean? It's the
Yeah.
best way to put it is I can go into a 7-Eleven or a Lawson's or a Family Mart and not get like and actually get like a meal. And it's like, oh, there's spaghetti here. I don't understand.
I wish that we had that, and we've talked a little bit about your Defy Women's Championship reign, but we also have to talk about your reign as new Texas Pro Women's Champion. Since winning the
Yes.
title from High On in May, you've successfully defended it against the likes of Trish Adora and Giselle Shaw, two names that are huge in the wrestling scene. You recently defended it against Giselle Shaw at the Texas Indie Showcase. How was that experience working with Giselle?
Oh, it was incredible. Giselle is an absolutely amazing woman. Just fun, crazy in the best way, like the best energy, like the best vibes. She's no joke in that ring, though. She is absolutely no joke in that ring. It was, sometimes you have matches that are kind of eye openers to you of like, hey, this is what I need to focus on, and like this is what I need to do to maintain this championship or to get another championship or travel the world. And I had that moment in the ring with her because she's so snappy, she's so fast, she's so aggressive. And it was just like, oh my God, this is what I need to be. So that match lit a fire under my ass in the best way to push myself even further and to become even better in that ring. So I'm very grateful for that match with Giselle. And yeah, I'm very honored to have been able to defend the new Texas Pro Championship against two incredible women.
Yeah, and like we said at the beginning of this, you've really like it just goes along with player one so well, but you've literally leveled up so much, especially in the last year. Like I see your name floating around everywhere.
Thank
I've
you.
talked to you for 3 consecutive years in a row, and you're definitely a lot different from just even 3 years ago from when I first talked to you. So as you kind of continue to build up your resume, I wanted to take a quick moment to reflect on your growth. Obviously, you've changed your hair color, you've revamped your character aspects, but in the first 4+ years of your career, what do you think are the biggest ways that you've grown or perhaps leveled up both as a person and as a competitor?
Um, so a lot of this, I mean, obviously, I've been doing a lot of work on myself in general
Yes.
and a lot of just confidence work and self-love work. And because this business really does mentally take a toll on you. It's very stressful. It's very draining, but it's also so worth it. But at the same time, like it's so hard to not compare yourself. It's so hard to not like it's really hard to focus on your own journey in the sense of like you see what other people are doing and you're like, oh man, I want to be doing that. I want to be doing that. I want to be that good. Oh, she looks so great. Why don't I look like her? And it's really hard sometimes to just come back and be like, no, what you're doing is good. Keep going. Like focus on yourself, focus on what you need to work on. Um, so I've done a lot of growing in that aspect. And my confidence has gone up a lot just with that. And then the other aspects, I really have to thank my boyfriend and trainer. His name was Prince Adam. He now goes by Lil Evil. So I like to say he's the artist formerly known as Prince Adam. But he's really helped me not only in the ring, because he and I have really been focusing on my explosiveness and my cardio and making sure that I'm strong and ready to face any competitor out there, but also when it comes to just being a stronger woman. He has very strong backbone, something that I very much lacked, especially when I first started. I've always been very much of a people pleaser and like really concerned about what other people are thinking about me and like what's going on around me. And he's really helped me uh, center myself and focus. And he's made me a stronger woman. He's made me a stronger person. I'm not afraid to defend myself, stand up for myself in or outside the ring. So that's really leveled up my confidence. And then just the way he trains me has really leveled up my confidence, physically as well. I feel like I've been leveling up. I've gained more XP and I put some more points in my athleticism. So
I think that's great that you can balance somebody off of like personally and professionally, like your energies. It kind of mixes well together, and like you kind of are going through that journey together as well. You always have somebody, in your pocket that understands both sides of it. So I think that is definitely helping and cultivate, a positive environment for you and personally and in wrestling. You always have at the very, I know you have multiple people, but you always at the very least have one person in your corner, which I think is huge, especially in today's day and age where it's so saturated. But I'm also curious, kind of with this saturation, with all the success that you've been having, I'm curious to kind of hear a status update on all your other ventures like streaming, vlogging, your cosplay brand. I know you have a shoot job. So with your career kind of taking off right now, have you considered making like wrestling a full-time gig, or are you still kind of keen on balancing with all your other non-wrestling work?
I mean, I love wrestling, and the ultimate goal for me is to make my living doing wrestling. That is my ultimate goal. As of right now, because I've been focused so much on my training and the gym and my shoot job, I'm a video game producer at Gunfire Games. We just launched Remnant 2. So that was all crazy, but right now I'm trying to find a really good balance between my wrestling career and my video game producing career, because I really do love the current job I'm at. And when the time is right, that leap will happen and I'll go to wrestling full time. That time is not right now. But, we cross our fingers that one day, hopefully soon, it'll happen. But when it comes to I've been so bad. When it comes to the vlogging and the streaming, even the cosplay stuff, like I've been talking about making myself some entrance gear. And I just like, my brain is so tired when I'm done with work. And then I go to the gym and then I go to training, and we're training at the ring 2 to 3 times a week, and I'm in the gym 5 days a week, and then the travel, and then, balancing my relationship. My mom's coming to visit this weekend. Like, life balance. I've been having a hard time with all of it. So right now, my main focuses are my wrestling career and my shoot job, and making sure that they coexist well together, And then obviously my relationships, which is the most important out of everything. So
Yeah, that's just like that's just three main things. And then you have all like like you said, your cosplay brand. I know you were working on for a while, and then trying to think of other like little details within the stuff that you're already doing just adds a whole other layer of things. But I know, like you said, you like to intertwine the gaming world with your wrestling character and presentation. You've done a lot of video game and pop culture inspired wrestling looks. Maybe this kind of answers my question, because I was going to ask, can you tell me more? Actually, no, we won't talk about the future right now. Can you tell me more about the inspiration behind your favorite look ring gear of all time?
Oh man. All of my ring gear has been based off of video game consoles as of right now. I did Samus. I did like a Samus cosplay one in the past. Way long ago, I did a Cammy cosplay one. We're talking like way long ago. That one exists somewhere. But my favorite one as of right now is my Nintendo Switch gear, only because it's not only my latest, but like I really love the split red and blue. Like I think it's a really like badass vibe. I do have another set that hopefully will be made before Revolver, because it's a tournament. It may involve a video game that is a tournament. So I'm very excited about that one. I'm hoping that it can be done before, but we'll see. And that one may become my new favorite because it will actually be a cosplay set. So we shall see. But as of right now, it's the Switch gear. And then second to that is my Xbox gear because that one just like I've been very fortunate to wrestle with that one in some amazing places and uh you know, Rampage and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, and that one, honestly, I love the colors. I think it looks badass on me. So.
Yeah, no, I personally will I love your whole look overall. It's just amazing to see how much you've like I said, I've interviewed you every year since 2020, and every year like you've just revamped your look or like leveled up and elevated it. I was going to ask, did you kind of have any vision for your next cosplay, but you kind of already answered that earlier that you're kind of still in the stages. I totally get sometimes your creative mind just like burns out. You know, it's great that it's
Yeah.
you're still able to do that in your shoot job because that's most important than like gear, you know. You can get new gear anytime, you know. But so that's kind of a work in progress still, you would say then?
Yeah, well, luckily I have an incredible gear lady, Lucha lady. She makes all my gear right now, and
Yeah.
she's absolutely fantastic. And I can send her designs, and she makes it. So luckily, I can just like the goal here is to get my design done for this revolver one, and then have have her hopefully make it in time. So we're like fingers crossed.
Okay, so we look forward to seeing what you pull out, you know. It is also kind of Halloween season, you know. It's spooky season.
It is
I
spooky
I'm
season.
gonna be really sad if you're not a spooky girl.
Uh-oh. Sorry.
Oh no.
I mean, no,
No.
I mean, like, I am a spooky, I love horror movies, if that's what you
Okay.
mean. I'm not
Okay.
doing any spooky cosplays anytime soon,
Okay.
but I
Okay.
am no, when it comes to, no, I am when it comes to that stuff. And
Okay.
Halloween is one of my favorite times of the year. So
Okay. So kind of in that realm, do you have a favorite or memorable just Halloween costume that you've worn when you were younger?
I wish I had pictures. I do somewhere. I did Jack Sparrow when I was like 12 or 13. And it was like essentially my first cosplay because you know what I mean, like because I
Yeah.
was like a character or whatever. But
Did
I
you have like the
stole.
beard and all of that, like the fake beard?
No, I
Okay.
did not. That
Okay.
would have been way cooler. I was too insecure with myself at the time to do that.
Fair,
I
fair.
literally stole my dad's like shirt and pants, and I found some random stuff at a Goodwill for the scarves, and I did thick ass black eyeliner. My hair's naturally like real big and curly, so I kind of just let it go natural. But yeah, that one's probably my favorite because the pictures I have of it are absolutely ridiculous. I hope I can find them somewhere.
Did you do the Jack Sparrow voice too, like
Of course
as
I
you were
did.
trick or was it like at a party or like a trick or treat? You
It
actually
was
went
trick
trick
or
or treating.
yeah, it was trick or
Oh
treating.
my
I
God.
trick or treated until I like nobody wanted to trick or treat with me anymore. So
Yeah,
I was
that's
definitely the
fair.
big kid on the block trick or treating.
I'm just trying to envision you going up to people's doors doing your best Jack Sparrow voice.
Yeah, basically, right? The run.
I love that. You know, talking about your character presentation too in the ring, what prompted you to incorporate the glowing sunglasses into your presentation as player one?
Oh, because I really want to start pushing, and this is something I'm still evolving and trying to figure out. But in my mind, player one is more in that cyberpunk world or in the world of like where the world of video games and the real world meshing is one. I mean, Ready Player One is also actually a really good reference to that.
Yes.
But so in my mind, it's almost like a HUD or a headset, is where my brain goes with that. And I want to try to integrate more of that stuff in there. Um, because I am doing my gear based off of consoles, which also goes along like the line of technology and all that kind of stuff. So that was the mindset there was like, hey, these are really cool. It's like a gaming HUD, it's like integrating real life with the video game world. So that was the thought process behind it.
Yeah, it's kind of a mix. It's not like full VR, but it also has like actual video game characters. Some of them really wear like cool glasses like that too.
Hmm.
So, and I how do they this is maybe a dumb question, but how do they glow?
There's batteries.
Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
it's just
Just
it's acrylic and
mm,
it's etched acrylic. And then I don't know if you've ever seen um that they do it. They sell like little like gimmicks like outside too, where it's like if you have clear acrylic and it's etched, and then you put a light through the edge of it, it will glow. Like the etching will
yeah,
glow.
yeah.
So that's essentially how it's done.
Oh, that's cool though. Do
Yeah.
you just have the one blue pair or how many pairs do you own?
I own I mean, right now I need to get more because I'm out because I'll sell them too, or like at some shows I'll give them away to little
Yeah.
kids and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, then they're multicolored, so I can change the color on
Oh,
them to match the gear sets.
okay. I feel like I feel like this should become like a permanent like merchandise option for you. Again, I don't know how expensive they are
They're
to
not.
buy in
I
bulk,
mean,
but I feel like that's a great idea. I think that
sure.
would be cool. I know they
Luckily,
did.
I already do it. They're on my website
There
if
you
you'd like to
go.
buy some.
There you
And I
go.
sign them.
What's your website? You can plug it.
It's Big Cartel. So it's what is it?
Yes.
VertVixen.Big Cartel or something like that. If you just look
Probably.
at VertVixen Big Cartel, it'll come
Awesome.
up.
That's awesome, you know. I feel like, it's blending two of your favorite worlds together. But, I'm curious in the world of video games, if you could bring any character or creature to life, who or what do you think would make the best tag team partner in the ring?
I'm at war from Darksiders. That's always going to be my answer, by the way. That'll never change. Darksiders is my favorite game of all time, next to Zelda, fucking Ocarina of Time. Um, but like the first Darksiders was basically adult Zelda, and I fell in love with the art style. I fell in love with the characters. War is fucking all business, no play, and that's who I'd want as a tag team partner. Also, he's like 7 feet tall and giant, so
Okay,
yeah.
because I was gonna say I'm not one who's very familiar with it. I'm sure there's other people who aren't, but I was curious to know more about your reasoning behind Darksiders. But if he's like 7 feet tall, then
Yeah.
there you
Yeah,
go.
they're also the four horsemen of the apocalypse. So like you
Yeah.
can't just like,
Yeah.
you know, bring about the end of the world. A tag team partner is.
Do you know what your tag team name would be?
I do not. It would probably just be the Darksiders or some BS like that. I would say the Four Horsemen, but that's been done like
Yes.
by way better
Yes, it
people than
has.
me, Ric Flair. So like, what's the point? I'd be like, sorry, War, we can't do that. Legends have already taken that name. So
That's a fair point. Two more questions for you. We've talked a lot about your growth. But I also wanted to quickly talk about for a moment, there's a lot of like struggles in going into that growth too. And like you said, we talked about confidence before. You've also evolved yourself. But what else besides confidence would you say has been the biggest challenge that you have faced so far? And how did you kind of approach it in your career?
Since I've already talked about some like mental health stuff, I'll go with the physical. And I've
Okay.
talked about this before. I have PCOS and hypothyroidism. And both of those, if you guys know anything about them, are anti staying in shape, anti like your hormones are all out of whack, your body wants to retain fat, like it's a constant struggle. And if you're not consistently working out, it can mess with your insulin levels, which then can lead to diabetes. Like there's a lot of layers to um both of those, and they work together fantastically. Sarcasm. So that's been my biggest challenge in the sense of transforming my body. When I first joined wrestling, I was so depressed. I only weighed 125 pounds, very thin, which in wrestling, it's not that great.
You're fine.
Hi, baby. So within wrestling, it's when you're thin like that, you're taking all those bumps and all those impacts, like it can really take even more of a toll on your body. So I am now 161 pounds. There's muscle and fat in there, but I've definitely been able to put on more muscle, work my butt off to maintain myself in shape when the PCOS and hypothyroidism have really kind of worked against that. So that's been one of the other big challenges for me is just, trying to eat right, which I won't lie, I'm not super great at. I try, but really making sure I'm consistent in the gym, getting enough protein, and then consistent within my in-ring training as well.
Yeah, combining all of that stuff, is definitely got to be a challenge, but you're still here. You're still conquering it. You
Doing
seem
it.
to still have that passion for the
Oh
gym
yeah.
and keeping up with your training, which also intertwines with wrestling, of course. And to kind of close out on a positive note, we do is what's called a watch list feature here. So over the last 4 years of your career, is there a particular match that you feel really proud of? Or if it's not just one, just a few that you feel really proud of your performance and why?
So I would have to say one of them would be me versus Billy Starks at Defy. It happened recently, a couple
Yes.
months back. And her and I really just pushed each other and went 100% all out, did everything we could. It's a match that I'm definitely very proud of. And I think that, I don't know, there's sometimes like, there's some people that you go against and you're just like, oh, I just want to go against you all the time. Like, let's just have matches all the time. And that was Billy for me. Like there's just a click, and we weren't afraid to each give it our all, and it was definitely fair competition, you know what I mean? And it felt great. Another one would be me versus Hikari at TJPW, and then also me versus Rika at TJPW. And because both of those women uh, wrestled so differently, and yet they, once again, they really pushed me, and I was able to try new things and do new things with them. And there's nothing like being in the ring with a freaking Joshi, man. They are the best, incredible, fearless, incredibly strong and fast, and just a constant challenge. So those would have to be the three. And then there's one I did versus Rina Yamashita that I was really proud of, but like I don't know where the footage is. It was with Spark Joshi Pro Wrestling, but I haven't seen the footage at all. So I'm
Oh.
hoping that I'm gonna bother them because I really want that match, because that one was just an all-out war. Like just war, and I loved it.
Yeah, hopefully it is, because I mean, you two are two big names right now going on. I feel like you, especially, like I said, in the last year, you've definitely popped up a lot more on, well, I follow you anyways, but your name has definitely been brought up a lot more on my timeline. And I am so glad, because you've put in the work, you've revamped yourself, but you also embrace yourself and your work. And I'm glad to see you getting more opportunities, because you've worked your butt off. You've carved this identity for yourself that I feel like a lot of people love or can relate to, and it's something that you're genuinely passionate about, which definitely shows through. But before we let you go, can you please share where the people can find you online?
Yes, 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 yes. I am on Twitter at VertVixen, Instagram at VertVixen. Facebook is facebook.com/Alicia Cosplay. But if you search for Vixen, it will come up.
Yes.
My Twitch is still up. I really should stream. I keep saying one of these
You
days
got
it
to
still
take care of
exists.
yourself first, girl.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then TikTok is at VertVixen. So everything is just at VertVixen. Like I said, I got a big cartel, all the things. So yeah, check me out. Let's
Nice
go.
and easy. VertVixen,
Easy.
thank you so much. It's been an honor to chat with you again and catch up. You have done so much, and I hope you know that so many people are proud of you, and keep leveling up, sis. We're rooting
Thank
for
you.
you.
Thank you, Ella. You too. I really appreciate you.